Barely Cool, episode C, in between, MP3, marker, cut.
Welcome. Barely Cool podcast. Ben Routley.
What?
Ben Routley.
Ben Routley, Judah Middle. We come to you live for us and not live for you. I'm always live.
I love that. I love like filming a video for someone. Hey, it's Ben coming to you live for me.
Yeah. Coming to you live on my end.
I just say that
3 weeks later for you.
All I think about is like a professor pre-recording a lecture.
Yeah.
And someone's watching it 4 years down the road. Hey,
Yeah.
it's Professor so-and-so coming to you live.
Yeah, that professor's
Now.
dead now. Like
Live. Oh, that's funny.
Currently
That's
alive
funny.
at the time of recording. I've seen the opposite of that, where someone, it was Tim Heidecker's podcast, and Fred Armisen calls in on his birthday.
Yeah.
But he's on the phone, like on FaceTime or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's doing it like it's a pre-recorded video. So he's like, "Hey, Tim, just wanted to reach out and say happy birthday to you. I just know it's going to be the best day ever, and I hope it's a good one." And then Tim's like, "Fred, are you there?" And he's like, "With all the times we've had in our life." Like,
That's so good.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's genius.
Yeah.
There's some comedic geniuses out
It's
there.
so good. I mean, us included, and we just
Amen.
we just did the opposite of that, where it isn't live, but we're acting like it is.
Funny.
Funny
That was funny.
stuff.
Bro, I feel like there were so many things I want to tell you, and as soon as we hit that red button,
That
they all passed from my head.
evil red eye staring at
They
me.
all passed from my head what I want to say.
Kind of looks like we're on like a spaceship or something. We're kind of
asteroid field.
whoa. We're kind of in the
Yeah.
ether. We're kind of in the
like in limbo.
yeah, in between.
In between.
No music.
Null.
Guys, next week is going to be freaking epic. I was going to say epic. Epic.
Freaking epic. No, I was at No Frills the other
Tell
day
me about it.
with Anissa.
Tell me about it.
And you know how it was kind of snowy this week?
Yeah.
So this was like at one point we went to No Frills and we just kind of like got hit with like a squall. Like it was just suddenly really bad.
You got squalled up.
Yeah, and we parked in the expectant
You parked in Expected Mothers? Why?
no, it's not we're not allowed to. But
You
I
just had to
said-
run in.
I said frick it, I just wanted to run in real quick.
Yeah.
So we parked there, and
Okay.
and so it's close to the door, right?
Yeah.
So I get out of the car, and we're like, I'm getting bags out of the trunk.
Yeah.
And this guy walks out of No Frills.
Yeah.
Just like he's done grocery shopping. He's just got like a cart full of food, and he's like, he walks out of the door. Isn't this beautiful? He's like, no one's with him. He's just like, don't you just love it? Doesn't get much better than this. He's just, it's like white out. And like people are walking past him. It's all snow, and he's like, come on. And he's like going in motion, and then he's like, doesn't get better than this. Isn't this beautiful? And he's like the whole way to his car.
I love that.
He's just like walking around with his cart. Every person's walking past him like, who's this freak? And he's like motioning to them.
Yeah.
Come on, folks. Isn't it just great out here?
Do you think
It killed me. It floored me.
Do you think he's doing that because he genuinely is like that? Or he's doing that because that's his last just hope to cling on to sanity so he doesn't take a toaster bath when he gets home?
I don't
Like, which
know.
one?
I don't know. God, I hope it's the first one.
I hope it's the first one.
I think it was like an attempt to like Winter's really pissing him off, and he just has to make it better. And I hope that that's what it is. Because it was just so funny. Like it's almost like someone was with him, like he was saying it to his wife, but no, he was just saying it to everyone.
Yeah.
Come on, folks. Doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I've been trying
Beautiful.
I've been trying to push myself to be more insane in public.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Especially in stuff like that where it is like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
It's too much. And then I'm just outside, I'm like, God, this is good.
Yeah, it's literally what. Oh, I couldn't believe it. Niece was all like this, like everyone else reacting, like, "Who's this guy?" And I'm sitting there like, "This is hilarious."
I love this man
because I'm watching him,
Yeah.
and he was parked at like the end of the parking lot.
Yeah.
He just didn't stop. He just kept going all the way to his car. Oh, beautiful. It's great.
I think okay.
Every person walking past him.
That to me is
Come
a
on!
joke where okay, the first time you hear it, it's really funny.
Yeah.
Then you're like, he comes out of the store and he hits you with, "Isn't this lovely?"
Yeah.
And then he's walking on like the little crosswalk thing. And you're like, "Oh, he's still going."
Yeah.
And then it becomes funny again.
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like,
when you
you
hear him
see
down
him like in the
car,
distance,
yeah.
and you just hear like, love it. Like,
yeah. From so far
Yeah.
away too. That's what it was. Beautiful. Like just no, you can barely
yeah.
hear it.
It's just like, such a nice day, isn't it, folks? Isn't it good?
Oh, it's
I mean,
just I loved that no one wanted it from him too.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, get this guy out of here. Come on, folks, get excited.
I think that's funnier.
Oh, it
If
was
someone
so
if
funny.
someone tried to match that energy, immediately you'd be like, okay,
Okay,
dude,
we've lost it.
relax.
That's weird.
Stop.
Yeah,
Let him do his thing.
he's doing the bit.
He's the one who
You
made
don't
it up.
get to do the bit.
He's the progenitor
You
of
stole
the
it.
bit.
You stole the bit. No, yeah, it was so funny. It was so funny.
Isn't that weird though? Like that we have this like innate thing in us. Because yeah, if I saw that, I'd be like, that man's the funniest guy alive.
Yeah.
And as soon as like if someone else walking in went, yeah, you and I immediately just go, oh, what an idiot.
Yeah,
Cringe.
yeah, exactly.
Dude, just let him do the bit.
It's his bit.
You need a straight man in the bit. You have to look like you think he's a weirdo.
Yeah, that's
like,
our role in
yes,
this.
we have to
Yeah.
walk by internally. We're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we can't join. It's too much.
What's he doing?
It's too
no, I don't
much.
like this weather.
You've jumped the shark.
But in my mind, I'm thinking, God, he's funny. Like, I don't know if he was actually just bonkers, and like he was just losing it,
Right.
or if he is me
Yeah.
and he's doing that, like he just has the courage that I
Yeah.
lack
He needs
to be a Mad Hatter in public.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's funny.
and not just on a camera with no one
Yeah.
watching directly.
I've
Coming to you live.
I've done it a little bit
Not for you,
more recently, not at that level and not alone. I do
Yeah.
it to embarrass my wife.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, grocery store.
Yeah.
We enter and I'm like, look at the variety of beans.
I
How'd they get so many types of
Stop
beans?
being stupid.
Yeah.
In public.
And
Come
she's just like,
on.
stop it. And I'm like, I can't wrap my head around how many beans they have here.
My favorite thing too doing that is when there's one other person in the aisle.
Yeah, of
with
course, you have to. Yeah.
And no, not a ton of people, but like one other
Yeah.
person. So I'm not being so
Yeah.
obnoxious.
The show's for
but
them.
they're like over there, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm still going, hoping they notice.
Or like Maddie will correct me on something like, oh, wrong aisle. How did I goof that again? And she's like, okay, stop. And I'm like, no, I can't believe it. And yeah, there's one other person there who just kind of chuckles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was for you.
That
You're
was
welcome.
for you. I just needed one little chuckle.
I love the idea that person goes home and has this where they go, is this guy at this store?
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
just
yeah.
and I was that for them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
with one of my favorite bits of all time is Josh, our friend Josh, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
He's been on quite a few episodes. If you want to see his face, I think he was in one season 3 episode. Him and I watched a horror movie, The Omen. We watched that together. Anyway, we were driving, small town. I don't remember where we were, and like middle of nowhere. Like we're like on a 2-hour drive and we're halfway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, neither of us are anywhere we need to be.
Yeah.
We're in a small town, and it's one of those like it's on a road that's 80, and all of a sudden you're slowing down to 50 because you're entering the town.
Yep.
And so we're entering the town, and we roll up to like 4-way stop, and nice summer day, beautiful sunny. People are walking around on this like tiny town main street, and we're just chatting, and he just goes, oh, honks, just a little beep beep, and then just goes. And waves at 2 old white people, and I go like I'm like. No, he literally like across it. Like it's not like as they're crossing, he's trying to get their attention. Just go,
Hey.
and then I'm like, "Do you know them?" And he's like, "No." And he's like, "But I just love the idea that these 2 old white people in small town Ontario go home and go, honey, you'll never believe it. A black man waved at me today." He's like, yeah, I do it all the time. He'll just do it in a small town, just meep, meep.
Hey. A black man.
I think the race thing aside, it's still hilarious.
it's
to just be like to wave at someone as if you know them and you have no clue.
Hey,
how the hell are you? And then just drive away. You'll never see him again.
do you think? I feel like if you walked into a grocery store or something, or some crowded area like a mall, with like a name in your head, like Steve, you just walked up to enough men.
Steve?
Eventually you would find an
100%.
actual Steve.
Yes.
And or even like a more common name.
Yeah.
I don't know, right?
Brian. Tim, Tom.
Jack.
Yeah.
Eventually, and I think that would just be so fun.
Yeah.
Especially if you spent like 100, like for you, not for them, 100 like people, no Jacks.
Yeah.
And then you finally get a Jack, and you're like, whoa, do I know you?
You just
Jack from.
Okay, wait. So imagine, right? That's you.
Yeah.
You're walking up, Jack? No. Sorry, must have confused you. Walk away.
Yeah.
You do that like 100 times. All of a sudden you go, Jack? Someone goes, yeah. And you go, oh, never mind, I have no clue who you are. You just walk away. You get their name right. And then you immediately just go, I actually have no clue who you are.
And then they have to grapple with that confusion.
Yeah. What? How did he know my name?
How did he know who I was?
But I am Jack. No.
He said Jack, didn't he?
Never
He
seen you
said
before in
Jack?
my life.
Oh, wrong Jack. Sorry. That's funny.
Jack? Yeah? Sorry, I was looking for Brian. Huh? And then you're just
I
gone.
have to be so quick
Oh, yeah.
because like when I finally got the name right, there would be
I know, you would wanna-
split
yeah, you-
second where I'd be like, I got it.
Yeah.
Like Michael Scott in The Office when he gets the up dog.
Yeah.
And he goes, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Instead of what's up, dog.
Yeah.
I would do that where I'd be like, oh my god,
did it.
finally got a Jack. Then I wouldn't get the
Yeah.
punchline.
That's part of the reason I've toned it down a lot since I've grown and matured.
Mhm.
But I used to love, like, both when I lived in the city and also just visiting, you're never seeing any of these people again. You're surrounded
Yeah.
by people.
Yeah.
And you're never seeing any of them again.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
You might, but
Probably not.
probably
a lot
not.
of people.
And I love just being a menace in the city.
Yeah.
Not like.
And we've talked about this.
Yes.
Not where you're causing an inconvenience.
But
It goes too far.
to just be that guy who's just like yelling a little
Yeah.
bit, just a little.
Like bro in No Frills on the No Frills parking lot didn't inconvenience my day.
Yeah.
He didn't mess with my day. Like in no way was I like, oh, this ruined my day.
Yeah.
It was just hilarious.
Yeah.
It was just a story I get to tell on the podcast, or if I don't have a podcast like most people. At the dinner table with my spouse and children.
Yeah.
Or no spouse, no children. Just a
Telling
friend.
a
Just
friend
good
over
friend.
coffee,
Just a good friend of the same sex. You've been friends for 30 years.
holding
Just
hands.
friends
and-
forever.
you always think
You
like,
call them your partner, but I mean,
What
they're
if
just a
it-
friend?
did become more, but neither of you will ever say that. But
All of the kids in the family, they know them as your special friend.
no, you bring them over for Christmas, of
Yeah.
course, because like you don't have anyone, they don't have anyone. Yeah, that's just Ben's special friend.
Just Ben's
Uncle Ben's special friend.
Uncle Ben's special friend. Bro, did you have one of those in your family?
Not like a gay one, but we had a guy. There is a guy. I don't. Okay, it gets convoluted, but there
Okay.
was a guy who at one of the Christmas things would be there,
Right.
and I was always like, "Who's this guy?" And like I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I guess he's related. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, when you get enough people in a family, you kind of just are like,
Yeah.
I don't. Okay.
An uncle.
Yeah,
Of some
something.
kind. Yeah.
He's someone. He's dating someone that I'm
Yeah.
related to or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. Turns out, no. He's not at
He's
all.
just a guy.
He's just a guy that, like, I think my great aunt had met, or maybe my great uncle had met, and he just didn't have anyone. So they would invite him.
That's
That's
sweet.
very nice.
Yeah.
But then he started inviting people. Like, I remember one year I was like, who's this lady? And it wasn't like I was like, oh, it's that guy's part. I don't know his name.
Right.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I guess it's his partner
Yeah.
or something. No, I think it's his cousin.
Yeah.
And then one year she was there and she brought a dog.
What the
And
heck?
she, like, dude, she, like, I don't know if she got a little too much into the mulled wine or what around Christmas time, but she like sat on her own dog and it yelped, and then she just yelled at one of my cousins from across the room like, "Careful with my dog!" But she sat on it.
What the hell?
Like, I don't know, dude. And like
That's crazy.
I remember at that age I was probably like maybe 12 or 13. And so that at that point, like, we got into the car to go home after this like little Christmas party.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, we gotta figure, like, Mom and Dad, like, who are these people?
Yeah.
And my mom was like, beats me.
I love
And
that.
she told me, she was like, okay, you know this guy? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, we're not related to him. And I was like, what? And then
That's not Uncle Jerry.
and then she's like, yes. And then I guess he started inviting people.
That's
And I'm just
crazy.
like, what the
Well,
heck?
that's way more interesting of a story than I had. On
Yeah,
tap.
we didn't, but I didn't have like, there was no like, this is,
right.
well, I guess like some of my aunts and uncles, like, they like, some of my aunts and uncles that are like, you know, not direct aunts and uncles, they're like second cousins technically, but they're old enough or
Yeah.
whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Some of them like, they've had like multiple marriages or
Right.
whatever, and
Yeah.
and so, or like different, you know, partners, and so then it would be like that where I'm like, I guess
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this is, you know,
So-and-so's
Susan's
special
yeah, this
friend.
is Susan's. I mean, by the time like, yeah, I think when I was young they just said, they're like, this is your boyfriend. This is
Yeah, see, I wish that they had said that
Yeah.
to me. Because I have I don't know, it's like an aunt or a cousin, an older cousin or something.
yeah,
And she is lesbian. She
Yeah.
is like still in this relationship with the same
Right.
person, as far as I know. And she would come to our family reunions, and her partner would come as well.
Yeah.
And I was like 7.
yeah,
Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know what grade they teach this sort of stuff now. They didn't teach it to us really in school at all.
no,
Back when I was in school.
No.
So it's like, I didn't know what gay was.
No.
Right? Like, that was something that if someone called
Yeah.
me that at school, I would be like, oh, that's bad.
I think
Right?
that's not nice because they put a certain tone on it when they said it to me.
Yeah, but I didn't know what it meant in real
Yeah.
life. And so I would ask, like, who is this
Yeah.
person? And my parents would be like, oh, that's so-and-so's special friend.
Yeah.
They do the classic thing. And I remember being so, oh, okay.
We
So,
can bring
like,
friends to this.
Yeah, like, it's just a friend.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't until I was like 16 that I finally connected it.
What? Wait a second.
Wait.
Yeah.
And I just look back and I'm like, why not just
Yeah.
explain to me as a kid what was going on?
I mean, it's better. At least you figured it out. Like, imagine you're like 14. You're like, hey, Mom and Dad, I invited Tim to Christmas, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
He's
yeah,
my special-
he's my
yeah.
special friend.
Yeah, Aunt so-and-so has a
Yeah,
special
we're
friend.
allowed to invite friends. Oh, have you been telling people he's your special friend? Like, yeah, I never had.
he's really special to me.
But I did have like, yeah, like,
It's so confusing as a kid.
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
because some of these aunts and uncles, at least for me, like, are people I don't see. I would see maybe once a year,
Yeah.
and sometimes not even that. So then it's like, I remember I would show up sometimes.
Yeah.
And when you're a kid, you don't really process stuff. And then, yeah, like years later, I'm like 12, 13. I'm like, what? I haven't seen
Where did they go?
I haven't seen like this guy in a while. And they're like, yeah, they got divorced like 6 years ago. And I'm like, oh,
You finally get let in on
That
all the
sucks.
family stuff. I
I
really
like
liked them.
them. Yeah,
exactly.
I really like them. And then it's like, well, don't say that around so-and-so. 'cause
Yeah.
that was messy. And I'm like, oh.
It's amazing how you look back on your childhood after
Yeah.
you get in on the family drama and you're like, whoa,
I
look at all this stuff that was going on
almost
around
like
me.
that's the thing is like I almost want to try and find a way like when I have kids to like include them earlier,
Yeah.
so they don't have to have that
Huge
confusion.
shock.
Because-
I'm on both sides because that at the same time I envy that childhood
Yes.
blissful ignorance.
Yeah.
Where I just had no clue what
Yeah.
was going on.
It's funny.
All I cared about was the Nerf gun I opened up on Christmas morning. I just couldn't
liked-
wait to try that
When
bad boy.
I was like, I don't even remember what age I was. I was like, I think I was probably an adult,
yeah.
and yeah, I was like meeting someone
Yeah.
who was like a partner
Yeah.
of like an aunt or a cousin. I don't know, and he was something.
Yeah.
I don't want to. He had an odd name.
Okay.
And it was like, I'm not gonna say his name, but it was one of those names that was like it's a one syllable not name,
Okay.
right? Where you're like, okay, like his name could have like you're just like, oh, this is my partner Mud, and I'm like,
You're taking it back. Oh, hi, Mud.
I mean, anything can be a name.
Yeah.
But like Mud doesn't even count because that is a word. Like it's not even a word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Pud.
yeah. Or
This
like
is Pud.
yeah.
Oh.
This is Beth. Sorry, Beth? No, Beth. BEF. Like what? Okay.
Oh, okay.
And he was just again met him maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
Like, and I think actually probably twice over like a 1 week thing. So
Right.
like.
So barely, like pretty much
Barely
once.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a person who's entered my life.
Yeah.
And I just remember like I was at the age where I was like, okay, yeah. You know, she's got a new boyfriend or whatever. We've got Clam here and he's showing up and
Clam.
yeah.
Phlegm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
It's so
this
weird.
This is my boyfriend Fog. But so then I just remember like I woke up and it was like, you know, this is at my like grandparents' house and I was old enough that like I can just wake up and start doing my routine and whatever. And woke up. My parents usually sleep in pretty late when they're there because it's like they get to rest and whatever. And so I just wake up. Sometimes like my grandpa would make a bunch of breakfast and it was just like there for people who want to grab it. And I think like, you know, grab some toast or whatever and have a coffee and I go out onto the balcony and it was like a summer, maybe like late spring.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
Right.
So it's like you got the hoodie on. It's nice.
Yeah.
And like a September or something like that. And a couple of my family are sitting up and good morning. And then yeah, sure enough, Fog walks out. He's got a cup of coffee, and he hits, dude, I'll never forget this as long as I'm alive. He sits down in one of the chairs, does like a little like nod, you know? Because he also, I think like when you're that guy, you acknowledge like,
I'm like,
I'm this
the
guy.
new guy here. Yeah.
And you know, obviously when you're dating someone you're like, this is going to be the start of something.
Yeah.
You don't assume this is going to end.
You want the family to like you. Yeah.
But you're also kind of like, I also get it that I'm, you know, they don't know who I am.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're kind of standoffish. And he comes out and he just goes, it's gone.
Yeah.
Sleep well. Oh, it's nice. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. Got his coffee and he just goes, he's got his mug. And I don't remember if he had glasses or not. I feel like he did, maybe not. Takes his glasses off and just goes, like,
his eye in his coffee?
it's steaming. And he's just,
What the hell?
and we're all kind of like, and he looks up and he goes, just gotta wake my eyes up.
What the hell?
And I was like, and I don't like, he didn't say it like tongue in cheek of like, get it? My eyes need caffeine. It was like, I was like, this
like
man does this every morning.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
In front of a brand new family. Just gotta wake my eyes up.
And anyway, he's out of the picture since then. And I still, sometimes I'll do
Because
that.
of that. Because of that.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do that like around my family. Just gotta wake my eyes up. And
good.
look, obviously it's like, you know, I see both sides. Would it be nice for like my aunts and uncles who like have been through multiple relationships? Would it be nice for them to find someone and just be with them forever? Yeah. But
it's
funny
having
really
a revolving
funny
door,
for me.
of random characters.
For me to have these random characters.
No, absolutely. As an adult, like or an older child, I could see it. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
No, but I think ultimately I wouldn't want to burden my kids with like the complex social rules of adults.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you don't talk about so and so around Aunt Karen because she'll be pissed. And it's like when you're a kid, you're like, what does that?
Yeah.
What? Why? Who cares? What's divorce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone cool was here and now they're not. Why is everyone getting mad at me? Because I asked about
going
them.
on?
Thanksgiving dinner got real quiet when I asked about Suzanne.
Yeah, Clem.
Yeah. What happened to Fog?
You know the wake my eyes up guy?
Look, Jake, I got nothing against you, but when Fog was here, like I'm like talking to the new guy.
Where's Karen's special friend?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
Honey, Ben.
Nope.
shh.
No.
What? Why?
She got me the best gifts.
There's something so fun. Like don't get me wrong, there's so many beautiful privileges that come with being an adult man and
Of course.
and the understanding, and ultimately I wouldn't want to leave this place if I got down to brass tacks. I wouldn't want to leave this world of knowledge that I have as an adult
I see
and
what
that
you're
I'm
saying.
privileged to as an adult man. But every now and then I do envy that blissful ignorance of a kid where you're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
what the hell's everyone got all tighten up about?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just she got me a Nerf gun.
Yeah. Literally.
Like that's all I care
Like
about.
I remember, like I was probably an adult, and I was just like, because when your families are big as well, like, and you don't always know who's with who.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I remember I asked my mom, I was like, who the heck was like, remember her? My mom was like, oh, that was this person's wife, and I'm like, oh, I really liked her.
Yeah.
And my mom's like,
Yeah.
but I just like
Why?
you have like that one memory
Yeah.
where I'm like, I remember I was like 5 years old, and it was like at my grandparents' place, one of their
Yeah.
houses. Not that they own multiple houses, but like
Yep.
previous. And like I just remember I was like sitting on some steps going down from like the deck into the backyard, and or like I was walking down, she was sitting on the steps, and she was just like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, hi. And like I knew her name because she'd been around, and she was like, oh, you shouldn't like be sitting near me, sweetie, not while I have this. And I'm like, why? And she's like, oh, it's not good for you. And I'm like, then why are you doing it? And she was like, that's a good question. And I was just like, okay. And then I just
see you
walked away.
later.
And like,
it's so good.
it's like, that's a very sweet memory
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
And like whenever a lot of people in my family, like not a lot, but growing up more back then, like people smoked.
Yep.
And sometimes when I smell the smell of like a cigarette, I think of that memory, and I'm just like,
I love the smell of a
it's so
cigarette.
nostalgic
Yeah.
for me. It's so nostalgic. I remember.
Sorry, go ahead.
I remember my aunt, who was my aunt for a
Yeah.
little bit, but then she wasn't my aunt because they got divorced, and I'm like, I don't know.
Now we don't talk about her. We don't
I
talk
don't
about
know.
cigarette lady anymore.
Yeah.
No, I had actually a really surreal moment recently at my grandfather's funeral. I don't know if I told you about it. So there was this guy who used to come to everything
Yeah.
on like my mom's side family stuff. I don't even remember what his name was.
Yeah.
All I remember is he had a purple Corvette.
Nice.
So like really out there car.
Pretty wild.
And he was just like he was the type of person you'd expect to drive a purple Corvette.
Yeah.
And when you're 8 years old, that's the coolest guy on the
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah.
So
He's probably a weirdo,
yeah,
but you're like,
in reality, he's probably like a gambling addict.
yeah, he's
But,
trying to
like,
figure his life out.
Yeah. But when you're 8 years old, all you see is that he wears a leather jacket and he drives a purple Corvette.
Yeah.
And you think that he's the sickest guy in
Yeah.
the world. So he'd always roll up in his purple Corvette. He'd always have something for us.
Yeah, of course.
Something
Yeah.
cool. And so he was the guy who would show up in a purple Corvette with something for me.
Yeah.
So I loved him.
Yeah.
And he was just he was so cool when
Yeah.
I was a kid. And I have this memory that is burned into my brain. I'll never forget it. We had a beehive, like a full size beehive
Yeah.
in the tree. You know the
Right.
tree outside our
Yeah,
house?
yeah.
Like a massive beehive. and it was becoming a problem.
Right.
And one day, it was like July, and I can like put myself in the memory. I was sitting next to the big window that leads out the front window, and I watched as this guy, Corvette guy,
Yeah.
like with just like a massive like hockey stick taped to another hockey stick,
Yeah. Yeah.
whacked this beehive
Yeah.
down and set it on fire,
Nice.
like in one swift motion, and then started getting attacked by bees.
Yeah, of course.
and was spraying them with a hose.
Yeah.
And then spraying it with a hose and then setting it on fire again.
Yeah.
And he beat these bees. He won
Yeah.
in the end. And he came back in the backyard and had a beer. And
Yeah.
after that, he disappeared.
Yeah.
I never saw him
Right.
again. Ever.
Yeah.
I don't know
he
where he
died.
went. I was like, but as a kid, it's like I didn't like life. You're just
Yeah, you get caught up.
absorbed in your childhood world that it's not until like 5 years later. that I'm
No,
like,
because when you're a kid, every moment of the present is what's happening.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
think about like, wait, what? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, I'm playing with Tonka trucks,
yeah.
and then 6 years past, like, I haven't seen Purple Corvette.
Yeah, where'd Purple Corvette guy
Yeah.
go? Bro, Purple Corvette guy was at my grandfather's funeral.
Crazy.
It was the first time I'd seen him in
Yeah.
years.
Do you talk to him?
I didn't.
No!
I know. I didn't get a chance to because I was so caught up in everything that was going on that day.
Yeah.
But he was on his way out, and I was with my cousin Will, and I said, "Who is that guy? Like I've
Right.
never seen that guy." And he goes, "Oh, you remember when we were kids?
Yeah.
The guy who would come in the Purple Corvette."
And you
I
went-
was like, "That's Purple Corvette guy?"
Right.
And he was leaving. He still had a leather jacket on, bro. He looks exactly the same
awesome.
that he did when I was a kid, just older.
Yeah, of course.
And I but I didn't get to talk to him, and I'm so pissed about it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I had this moment at the funeral where I was like, he's alive. Like
yeah.
Purple Corvette man is still here.
Well, that's the thing is, like, all of a sudden those memories that you had no reason to think about. It's not
Yeah.
that they're, like, buried or, whatever. It's just there's no reason to think
Yep.
about them. And
Yep.
all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah.
whoa!
Purple Corvette
Yeah,
guy.
every
Where did
memory
he
of
go?
him. Yeah, and you're like, wait a second. Yeah, I haven't seen him in like 20 years.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw him I was like 12.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
crazy.
been like 13 years since I seen him. And he's still kicking.
Is it weird?
He
Like,
still looks the same.
I don't want people in my family to die, obviously.
No.
But funerals are a very uniting thing.
Yeah.
Arguably, in my mind, in some ways more than weddings.
Yeah.
Because, like, the fact that, like, people can kind of put aside differences
Yeah.
for a funeral,
Yeah.
right? Like, with my family, like, messy divorces and whatever, it's
Yeah.
like, you're not inviting an ex-wife of, like, your uncle
Yep.
to your wedding because you're just going to, it's going to
Yeah.
blow up your spot. That's
Yeah.
going to suck. But people can kind of get, like, with a funeral, it's like, you can kind of put aside your
Yes.
history with that person, acknowledging, like, well, they also have a history with
Yes.
this person who passed.
I would argue, yeah, that grief is more uniting than joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you can kind of be like, I don't want to see this person,
yeah.
but I get that they have a history with this
Yeah.
person, so, like, I'm not going to make a scene
We're
at a
not
funeral.
we're gonna put this all aside for
Yes.
the sake of X, the person who died.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm weirdly, like, excited
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
that, of, like, I wonder...
It's a bittersweetness of a funeral.
Yes.
Now I get to see the whole family.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in a way, like, with some people, like, I still have all my grandparents except for one.
Yeah.
And my grandfather who passed, like, that was during COVID, and also, like, 90% of his family, maybe not 90%, a large chunk of his family live not here. They live in, like,
That's literally exactly what
Holland.
just happened to me. Yeah.
but it's like, you don't really know your grandparents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you hear stories and whatever, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like, at a funeral, it's like, here are a bunch of people
Yeah.
who grew up with this person.
Oh yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, whoa!
Yeah.
And there's all this, like, like, when I had a great uncle, it was kind of similar, where it was like, my great uncle, when he died, I'm seeing people I haven't seen since I was, like, a kid.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they have a history. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Like, friends of my uncle,
Yep.
not my great uncle, but friends of my uncle that, like, growing up when I was a kid, they were around all the time.
Yeah.
Because I was like 5 years old. My uncle was probably like in his late teens, early 20s. So his friends are around, like, all the time.
Yep.
And then, you grow up and you start your own family, whatever, and you're not bringing friends to family stuff anymore. But then all of a sudden, yeah, my great uncle passed. I'm like, holy flip, that's this guy I
Yeah.
grew up with.
Yep.
And, like, my uncle was in a band growing up, and so, like, all his friends would be around for, like, band practice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy!
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing all these guys again. It's crazy.
It's
very
crazy.
surreal.
It's nuts. No, that, like, my grandfather's funeral was the most that I've ever had someone be like, whoa, like, I haven't seen you since you were
Yeah,
this
yeah,
high
yeah.
situations. Like, because it's like me and my cousins, like all of the immediate family cousins. I think the youngest is 18 now.
Right,
So it's like
right.
we're all men.
You're
Like,
all
we're
grown.
Yeah, we're all grown up now. So it's like they would and like for me and Sam,
Yeah.
we're married.
Yeah.
And at the time we were we're heading into new frontiers
Right.
that everyone knew about.
Right.
So for these people who show up, and I
Right.
get this because I'm not that old, but there are situations like there are certain people who are like 14 now, and I knew
Yeah.
them when they were like 6.
Yeah.
But for some people coming in here, they knew me when I was like 7,
Yeah.
and now I'm like 25 and married, and they're like, "What the frick?" And that's almost like crazy for me to see them too, and be like, "Whoa."
Yeah. You
haven't
are
seen
the
you since I was a
in
child.
some ways you are the purple Corvette guy
Yes.
in their life.
Yeah, yeah.
Where they have a memory of you as like a little 6-year-old
yeah,
running around.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're here established.
yeah.
You've got a wife, you've got, you know what I mean? It's
A
like
life.
whoa. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's very surreal.
It's gonna be a weird feeling when I get to that time in life when you're like 60.
Yeah.
And you see these people who are like 35 and
Yeah.
you knew them when they were children.
I don't want to like I think nostalgia can ruin your life in the sense that like people get so latched on to like the past and they
Yeah.
don't live.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that like there's nothing wrong with like a little bit of just thinking about the past and
Yeah.
just being like, "Whoa, that's crazy,"
Yeah.
and seeing, but more than. I think if you're only thinking about the past is a problem, but when you think about the past and then you contextualize it in the
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
I think that's very
Yeah.
fun.
You trace a line through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. Whoa, look at how far I've come.
I've been telling people, I'm like, I graduated high school 10 years ago.
Yeah. A long time ago.
So is it just in movies that we do a high school reunion? Because I kind of want to. I kind of like.
Where's this 10-year reunion?
Dude,
Class of 2015.
I'll go, dude. Like I've talked to people that I graduated. I don't talk to a lot of people I went to high school with.
I talked to one person I went to high school with.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
just, and it's not like an issue.
Yeah.
Like I'm not avoiding people, but people they grow up and people got stuff going on. But I was talking to someone, I was tattooing them, and I kind of brought that. I was like,
Yeah.
something happened, and they were like, "You would go to that?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Like, yes. Like, I partially because I'm like, I haven't seen some of these people I really liked, and I just haven't seen them in a while, and you get busy, and like I've reached out to some, but like I don't have any contact
Yeah.
with these people.
Yeah.
Like when Facebook first became a thing, and everyone was on Facebook. All these like I remember my parents were reconnecting with all these people they went to high school with,
Yeah.
but no one uses Facebook anymore.
No.
So it's like, and honestly, not even, a lot of people don't even use Instagram anymore. So I don't know, like I don't know how to contact people anymore if
Yep.
I don't have their phone number, and
Yep.
people's phone numbers change and whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, I would love to see some of these people again, and then it's just interesting to me. Like I want to know, like I guess I just get curious.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, there's people in my life that I have. Like weirdly, there's my friends from high school, but weirdly, there's people who I'm like, I was not close to them in high school.
Yeah.
I just want to know what's going on in their
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Like there's people I remember. I talked to like one of them on Instagram, like very briefly. Like like it'll be like a someone will post a funny thing on their Instagram story, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
"That's so funny."
Yeah.
I'll respond to it.
Yeah.
I talked to someone like that, and like really, the only memory or like interaction I recall having with this person is like, I would color her maps for her in grade 9 geography class, and she'd give me like $2 and I'd do
Hell
that.
yeah.
It was great. She's nice person,
Yeah.
and she sat behind me, or maybe I sat behind her, and she's like,
you just love coloring.
I love coloring.
Yeah.
Look at
Judah,
me now.
unless you guys don't know, Judah loves coloring.
But like, I mean, like how
He
funny
does,
is
he
that?
does coloring as
That
a
like
job.
if we were actually catching up, and I'd be like, "Hey, remember when I did that?
Yeah.
Now look at me.
Yeah.
I do
color
it
for a living.
I still color for money." Like I think that's
You were the beginning.
yeah, I think that's very
really
funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000% I go. And then also like the mean part of me is like,
Yeah. You want to say, "Look at me, to all your bullies."
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you still living in the same small town? Not me. I moved 10 minutes away.
I work in the city.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
I'm a big boy.
I'm a big city boy now.
No, I just
Except
think
I don't want to work in the city.
I don't wanna work in the
Scary.
city. Too many
Scary in the city. Lots of
hooligans.
people in there.
It's not scary, but
Scary a little bit though. Not like scary and like actually scary, like I'm scared for my life, but like scary, like whoa, there's a lot of damn people.
there's a
there.
lot of people. Yeah.
But you
Those
know what, guys?
buildings-
What time are we at? We on at the end here?
39. We're all right. We've been talking a lot, making each other laugh, having a good time. But I would love to go to a high school reunion. I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I've considered like reaching out to some people who I know would probably
Plan something like that?
run it.
Yeah. It's a
Like-
lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but I'm like, it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'd go, and like, especially if we could do it well, where like the people who have
Yeah.
the people who have done gone far, I'd like catch a plane. But like, it'd be cool, like if people like
Yeah.
I know people who moved out to like out west and stuff, and I'm like, If we did it well, it'd be cool
Yeah.
to see them again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go to mine.
You don't
I
think
didn't
so?
really like high school that much.
I liked high school.
High school wasn't my thing.
I had a lot of I was not popular by any means. I had friends,
Yeah.
but there were a lot of people who probably thought I was like the most annoying person on the planet. Guess what, idiots? I still am. And
Now we just do it. We get attention from people behind the camera.
it's so good. I love attention. That's why I tattoo, because then you're stuck, and all of a sudden I can start working on my type 5 with you.
You know who? My cousin Will actually brought your tattoo TikToks up in the car yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, because he was like, I love these TikToks.
Well,
He
why?
pulled up your one, like, how you doing? Ah! That one, the yellow one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a
I
good
like
one.
that one. and then I just went, okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and keep going.
That was a good one. The one, how you doing? That's a good one too.
Hi, how are you? I'm one. When is he getting tattooed?
I don't know. He's got to get it done.
He can get a live show.
I'm trying to convince my wife to let me get hand tattoos.
Your wife?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome
Well, like not her get hand tattoos?
for you.
Oh yeah, I want hand tattoos, and I'm trying to convince her,
Yeah,
and I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there.
yeah.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna be
get there.
a tatted up nurse boy.
I'm gonna get there. I told her I was like, I'm going into a field where
Yes, it
I
doesn't matter.
wear gloves for the rest.
Yeah.
Like for 90% of my
Yeah.
job. No one cares.
Hand tattoos just look incredible.
They look sick. I'm not into like neck. You know, I'm gonna start small.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna get like
No.
a bunch of crap all over my hands. I'm not gonna get like some big thing on my thing. Just something
Yeah.
little right here.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah.
But I'm start little. She doesn't want it, but I'm gonna get there.
You're gonna get there.
I'm gonna get there. No,
Yeah.
I think I'm actually breaking her down. Because the other day,
Breaking her down is such a funny verbiage. You're like,
the other day,
I'm breaking her will.
the other day, she said to me, she's like, I was talking about the hand tattoos, and she's like, you know, that would actually like look pretty good.
Yeah.
And she said that, and I was like, see? And then she was like, I still don't want you to get hand tattoos. And I'm like, oh, but I'm
Yeah.
planting seeds.
Yeah.
She thinks that would look good.
Yeah. It's gone from this is for hooligans, sailors, and delinquents to that would look pretty good.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
And now it's just now you just need that extra little tidbit of that would look pretty good on me
Yeah.
for me.
Yep.
So we should do it.
We're getting there. I give it a year.
Yeah. You'd get like here's the thing. As a tattoo artist, like people sometimes reach out, can I get my hand tattooed? And I'm like, I'm probably not tattooing your hand.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm not ruining your life. Like someone reached out to me asking about like a ring tattoo.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna. I haven't said no yet, but I'm not doing it. I did it for a friend recently. Brother, nightmare to do.
Is it? Yeah.
So annoying.
Oh.
Like it hurts for one.
Yeah, I
but
can
like
imagine.
I'm trying to fit my tattoo machine to get like in here. Like how do I do? The angle just doesn't work. I can't like back here. It's just impossible.
Right.
So already it's annoying for me.
Right.
Sure enough, he comes up to me. I saw him like a little while ago, and he's like, "Yeah, it like fell out in a couple spots," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna." We can do it again. Like we'll try again, and like I offer like a free touch up, but I'm like after that, if it falls out again, it's just like yeah, that'll happen. So you're
Yeah,
gonna have to
dude.
keep paying.
Yeah.
And so yeah, when someone like I don't know reaches out for something like that or like a hand tattoo, I'm like, no, no,
I'm not tatting your hand.
I'm not gonna be responsible for that.
Nope. I get that.
For you, it's like you've got tattoos. You're not tattooed enough that the average tattooer or tattoo community would do it for you. Because they'd be like, no, that's not a good idea. But to me, I'm like, you'd be fine.
I've thought about it.
Yeah, you'd be fine. Like I got made fun of at one of the shops I was at. He's like, oh, just jumped in on your hands. Still got a lot of room on your forearms. And I'm like, I work here. This is my
Is
job.
that like a thing? Is that like a culture? Like I would get made fun of by a
Not
tattoo
made
artist?
fun of. Maybe it depends.
Yeah. Eh?
Because it's the
Jumping right
idea
into
of
the
like
hand?
it's kind of I guess
Like you do the covered up parts first,
yeah.
and then when you run out of space, you go to the hands.
Yeah, it's like you got to really know. And tattooing has become sort of this thing like a lot of people like the history of tattoos is kind of like wartime, sailors,
Right.
delinquents, bikers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like people get tattoos but tattoos they can hide
Yeah.
because it's like you got to be able to be professional.
Yeah.
That's obviously changed a lot. But it's almost like counter changed,
Right.
where like people are only getting tattoos on the areas that you can see.
I see.
So it's kind of like the joke is that like people are getting tattooed in a way when their shirt's off, it looks like they're still wearing a t-shirt of skin. Because like no one's getting their chest done, they're just getting like arms, hands, neck,
I see.
and then just here is like fully open. Their back's fully open, but they're getting like here down and then like neck and stuff.
That's so weird.
But yeah, so like I don't know, like the guy who like made fun of me, like he was like, I'm just messing with you. I got my neck done when I was 18. Like, so it is like it is still a little bit, and it is like. But to me, I was like, I got my hand done, my first hand tattoo shortly after I had graduated from my tattoo apprenticeship.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm doing the job.
I mean, you're a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, if anyone should have every part of their body that's visible tattooed, it should be you.
That's the thing is like.
You're not gonna have trouble getting a job at a tattoo shop.
Well, I don't trust.
Tattooed.
Sometimes I see tattooers and they don't have any visible tattoos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I trust you.
Yeah. Are
like,
you good at it?
why don't you like it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Get it on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not the guy who's like
no, but you're
I'm
like
not getting like a hyper realist Jesus on my hand.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like it. I love it. You're a tattoo artist. I am not.
Yeah, it's different.
So I'm not gonna get a big fat thing on my thing, but I'll get something little.
Yeah. I like the like right here.
Yeah, I really want something right here.
I like that.
Well, what I said to Denise, I've said it to you before.
Yeah.
I want a little A,
Yeah, beautiful.
little cute little A there,
That'd be great.
and I think that would look really nice, and it's for her.
This is for you.
Why is she fighting me so hard on this? And I said the other day, I was like, I think I might get an A here, and then I might get
Something else there in the future.
another one here in the future, another letter.
Right.
And she's like, but then you would run out of places to put other letters. If you catch my drift.
Yeah.
And I go, I'll just put them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Then she goes, no.
You're always
Don't
gonna
worry
have
about
room.
it. There's
I've
room
been,
to
like,
put something somewhere else.
I've been meeting other tattooers and stuff, and like I met this guy. At face value, you look at him and you're like, he's full.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. But there's always room. You can kind of go over top. And
Yeah.
There's always room.
That's what I've said. I'm like, I'll find a place to put it.
Yeah.
So let's just relax.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm getting there.
You'll get there.
I'll get there.
You'll get there. No, I just think, even with tattooing, like, I think that's a funny thing. Like, there's people who still know me from high school and stuff, but, like, if we do a high school reunion, I'm going to walk in there. It might be a surprise to people. And I think that's funny.
Yeah.
I would love high school reunion gets booked July, neck tattoo is June.
Fresh neck tattoo.
Yeah.
Check this out. That's awesome.
Beat red and sore. Dude, yeah, I want to start my back. I want to get my back done. Ugh.
Is it? I saw a photo of Drew the other day. Does
Yeah.
he have a back thing that goes all the way down to his leg?
Yeah,
That's insane.
it's crazy.
Did you play a part in that?
On the back, yeah, I did a little bit. I did I did one side of his back, and it started, I don't know, maybe like hip, and it went up to his shoulder with like a skull and stuff. But no,
Okay.
most of that has been another artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
The same dude who did his chest, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
How does the back hurt? I feel like it would, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Does it hurt as much as the chest? Oh, yeah, I guess you wouldn't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know, but my chest wasn't bad.
Do you know from people telling you? When do they say hurts more?
I think the issue with back tattoos is that usually, or not usually, but a lot of the stuff, at least that I'm interested in and in my area, it's like a full thing.
Right.
So it's like with my chest, at least. Some people do this, but with my chest, at least, it's piecemeal. So I've
Right.
got like tattoo here, tattoo
Yeah.
here. So like each individual tattoo is like it's uncomfortable, but
Right.
it's usually like a couple hours.
Right.
Whereas like some people do like a full chest in one go,
That's crazy.
or like they'll do like one design for their chest. But I find that's more common for the back, where it's
Right.
like one design,
Right.
and then so typically you're signing up for like just longer sessions.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's like it's a more painful area or if it is just the fact that like, yeah, you're gearing up for like a 6-hour day,
Right.
and it's just gonna suck.
Right.
That's
fair.
I was talking to someone and they said like from neck to like hips on the back was not so bad.
Right.
As soon as it got lower, and it was like lower back,
Right.
and like towards the sides. That's where it was like
Yeah,
brutal.
I can see that'd be sensitive area.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've been talking to someone, and they've. I'm a big like. I don't really. When I've been talking about getting my back done, like it's never been like I know what I want and I'm gonna find the artist to do it. It's been like I know that I want to get my back done, and I'm just gonna wait until I see an artist who I think has cool enough designs for it. And I don't really like. I'm not like going in with ideas. I'm just like I'm gonna wait until I see one.
Right.
So I was talking to an artist because he was working on one, and shout out Chris Price again. And he was working on one, and it's like fully done, like painted. Right. And I was like, I'd get that.
Yeah.
And it's like it goes to the butt a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's like back and then cheeks. And
ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm like,
but your wife would love that one.
No. Probably not.
No.
Probably not. Probably
Doesn't
not.
want your bum done.
No. But
is your bum's bare? You know, nothing on your bum?
Yeah, it's clean. I don't have anything on the back of my body, really. Like if I'm like fully naked, faced away from you, there's
you don't even know you're tattooed besides your arms.
Yeah, and even
if you
that.
cross your arms in front of you.
Yeah.
Like this.
Oh yeah, I
wouldn't
think one of my leg tattoos kind of goes to like here.
Right.
But yeah, like I'm pretty bare.
I got a photo. I think I still have a photo of you when you were still pretty bare. Oh, my phone's there.
Probably.
When you were naked. Sent me one of your crews.
Yeah.
Still have it.
I got a couple.
You're covering up your pecker, and that's.
But I think my legs were empty. My legs I think were empty, and I just had some stuff on my chest.
Yeah,
and
I
my
think
arms.
a little bit. I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, my
It's in
legs
my
are
phone.
pretty bare.
It's in my
I'm
phone.
working
We're
on my
recording
legs.
with my phone. We'll
Working
post
on my legs.
We'll post it on Instagram.
Well, I don't know about that. Guys, we're coming to you live for us, but
I think I want to start every video like that.
It's really
when
funny.
I record a video for someone.
I think it's funny.
Hey, coming to you live for me.
Yeah.
Not for you.
It's live for me as I record this right now. For you in the future. Next week, season 4.
Season 4.
I remember, it feels like, it doesn't feel like yesterday, but it does not feel that long ago that we were recording in a supply closet for the start of season 3.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like that long ago. And that was 2 years ago, approximately. Well, any closing words for this in-between? It's not really a season 3 episode. We're kind of in the middle ethos limbo. No. Don't get so stuck in the past. Look forward to the future. Let your past inform your present. Don't let it inform your future necessarily in that way that you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
Look forward to season 4. Forget season 3. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter
No,
anymore.
that's not what I'm trying to say. Look back on season 3 with fondness.
Fond memories, but don't hold on to season 3. Season 4 is around the corner.
Season 3 is gone. It's in the
still,
past
it's
now.
still there, but it's
in the past now.
It's in the past.
Look forward to this. Season 3 will inform how we carry on with season 4.
We'll
But
take
we're
the
not going
good
to cling
stuff.
to it.
No.
Just like we didn't cling to season 1 and we didn't cling to season 2.
No.
And
We'll take the good stuff
so
and
forth.
we'll move on.
We'll see you there.
Well, you'll see us. We'll be recording this live.
Coming to you live every week, Thursday at 6 a.m. For what was for us when it was live.
It was live when we recorded it. It'll be live for you to...
In a way, it's live.